Hi, I'm Jamie Ruby from Sci-Fi-Vision. Thanks so much for talking to me, guys. I very much enjoyed the film. I watched it this afternoon, actually, but I very much enjoyed it. So, to start out, for people who haven't seen it, can you just sort of talk about your characters and also what was it that made you decide you had to do it? Just go Beau and Rob.
Yeah, I think the story itself was what got me interested. It's about two two lost souls, really, who are looking for a survival in what is for them a crazy kind of existence. They're not happy, and they come together in a very strange way. Earlier in the movie, he's coming to my house to as an electrician to fix my phone, and that's how we get to know each other. That's my son Ezekiel, who's in that scene as Rob's partner,
Oh,
and and yeah, and they come together, and they need a purpose, both of them. They need some passion in their life, something to excite them again, and they find it through their relationship with each other. And they go to Nashville and chase their dream.
Yeah,
Rob.
I mean, for me, it was the same thing. It's the truth of the story, and the truth of the circumstances in country music in general. I mean, that's what I do on a day-to-day basis, living in Nashville, is write songs. Monday through Friday, sometimes twice a day, and you're constantly chasing a dream. And oftentimes doing it for not much money. So it's about keeping the hope and the faith and the dream alive, and that's what this movie was about. And the character of Wayne was just, it hit so close to home because, like I said, this is how I spend my time, and it's how I spend my time praying and hoping and dreaming.
Now, you both sang in the movie, and this was filmed live, I think. I mean, the singing was filmed live. Can you both talk about that? What was that experience like?
Yeah, I mean, and I've had the good fortune to do a handful of films and TV shows where I get to play, in the project. But most of the time, it is pre-recorded, so you're kind of just singing along to a track, which kind of ensures that it's polished and ready to go. And in this case, that wasn't the case. We everything was recorded live. So I think there's even more maybe truth to those performances because of that.
What was it like for you, Beau, singing in the film? Was that something you found difficult or easy or fun?
Well, I was kind of unhappy that my first song that I sing, I'm sitting on a toilet.
True.
Used to be no, but as my character says, it's good for the what do you call it? The what is it?
The acoustics.
The acoustics. Give it a little Elvis twang, I
Mm-hmm.
think I say. But no, I enjoyed it. It was great. It was a little daunting for me because music has been a hobby, not a professional thing for me. Uh, I did Broadway in How to Succeed for 6 months, so I got a taste of that then. That was a long time ago. But this was fun, and because it's a movie, it's recorded live. But if you screw up, you got take two and three and four if you need it. So that was good, and I had a lot of support from the real guys, from Rob and Lee Bryce, who's in the movie, who's a wonderful singer, and Chuck Mead, our music director, was really helpful. So yeah, no, it was a good experience.
Right. Well, I did want to ask you because you mentioned it. Your son, you said, is in the movie. What was it like, playing alongside him?
Well, my son Ezekiel, yeah, not unique for our family. My dad started that tradition
Yeah.
when we first started out. I mean, he gave Jeff and I our first jobs, and then after that, once we got going, he'd call us up and say, "Hey, I hear you got a gig. Is that true? What is it?" I'd tell him, and he'd say, "Is there anything in there for me, or anything in there for your brother or your cousins?" So we've all enjoyed working together. And I especially like the scene that I do with Zeke in the very beginning of the movie where he is so in awe of me that his jaw just drops and he looks at me with, such respect and everything. And that's kind of nice to get from your son. So we don't always get it.
True. Now, Rob, you obviously say this character's a lot like you, but how was he like different from you? Was there parts that you had trouble connecting with on that level and getting into?
Um, Man, good question. Trouble? I don't know. I mean, there's always nerves, right? Especially when I'm working with this guy. The bar is set pretty high. But I really wanted to approach it uh just as honestly and as truthful as I could. Sometimes I can put some tricks and stuff in there, but I didn't want to do that this time. I just wanted to kind of just give a very honest, as honest as I could, performance, and just trust.
So after doing so many different things, is there still things to learn now? After you've done so much, do you still learn from each project something new?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my dad told me early on when I first started, he said, I was getting ready to go off my first day's work. He said, just relax. He said, you don't do this alone. He said, this is a collaboration. He says, you're going to be joining a whole new family that's much bigger than your own family of entertainers and actors and the crew and all the people that make these movies, tell these stories. And so relax and just be a part of the team. And when you're acting, like when Rob and I are doing a scene together, we're listening to each other and responding. It's not, we don't have to have it all in our own head exactly what we're going to say, what we're going to do. We're bouncing off of each other. And I think the little that I know about the music world, there's a lot of collaboration in that as well, with musicians working together. And they bounce off of each other. So it's comforting to know that you don't do it alone.
What about you, Rob? What did you learn from this? And did you learn anything from him acting wise too, would be my other question.
So much, so much. I mean, it was such an honor to get to work with you and to learn, by your side. Your humility and your zest for making films. It's really, really powerful. And it really does come down, I think, to listening and to being as present as you can be. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to get into this industry, even as a young kid, was for that very reason. Because, we don't really listen well in our day-to-day normal lives. And it takes energy, a lot of energy to listen, and to be present. But there's a lot of, gratification that comes from that. And I hope it ends up being reflected on the screen.
And that was going to be my next question. What do you guys hope that people take away from the movie that viewers do?
Well, I'm just so grateful that people are going to see this movie, and I hope they do, because there's a lot of truth to it. It's not a lot of CGI. It's a story that's, I don't know, kind of as old as time, right? I mean, it's about the song, it's about truth, it's about relationships, it's about hope and redemption, passion,
forgiveness.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, forgiveness is a big part of it, because these people, neither one of these characters could have moved on without forgiving and being forgiven themselves. It is an important part of it.
Richard, do you both have like a favorite scene that you can talk about without spoiling too much of the film? Maybe a little tease.
I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, because I don't want to. You don't want to screw it up for people who haven't seen it yet. One scene that I enjoyed is getting in there with all these guys in the control booth and laying down. We did it in an actual recording studio, and laying down a tune. That was kind of exciting, and being a part of a professional music scene was that was fun for me. I enjoyed that.
And actually, I'll piggyback on that. There's a scene where I jump up on stage and I perform one of my own songs, and I'm playing it with the great Lee Brice, and he's actually singing high harmonies above me on that song, and I'll never forget, because he's, I think, one of the greatest out there. And he's like, "Man," he goes, "this is a high song." I said, "Well, if anyone can do it, anyone can hit those notes." It's you, man.
And you're going to release that song pretty soon, aren't you?
There's another one that comes out soon. Yeah, March 22nd. The song that I performed at the beginning of the film at the showcase, Dirt in My Life, comes out on the 22nd of March.
Yeah.
Also written by Dallas Davidson, Tommy Cecil, Chris Jansen. Just a heck of a song.
Okay, great. We'll make sure I look for that as well. So thank you, both of you. I appreciate your time. And like I said, I really enjoyed the movie.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Ed.
much.
Thanks. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, you have a great
You too.
one.
Bye-bye.